Hello and welcome to this video. This is my belated July wrap-up. It's taken me a while to actually get to filming, so it's a bit late, so sorry about that. But anyway, let's get on with it. I read 6 books in the month of July, which wasn't too bad. I was kind of hoping for more, and the ones I had on my TBR for July, I think only half of them happened. But I got 6 books done, so I'm fairly happy. The first book I read in the month of July was Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell. I really enjoyed this. It's the first in a YA series from him. There are going to be 6 books in total, which will follow our main character Kellen on his journey to discover who he is, really. I loved the characters. Farius, who is the character on the bottom there, is really kick-ass and fun and clever, and I ended up really liking her a lot, and yeah, just love the story. I was also lucky enough last week to meet Sebastian at a book event, and he's really nice. He's a lovely person, and he also let me see a proof of the 3rd book cover, which is coming out next year. The second one comes out in October, so yeah, I highly recommend you pick that up. This is a 5-star read for me. So that was the first book that I read in the month of July. The next book was then This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. As always, V.E. Schwab's writing is foolproof. It's just perfect. I gave this 5 out of 5. It is, I found, it's not that, I keep thinking of it as heavier going. It's not, it's just, it's darker, I think, than a lot of the stuff. There's not as many light-hearted moments in it. But it's really good and really interesting. Then the next I listened to on Audible and read along on my Kindle, and then had to go out and buy the book because it was just awesome. And that is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sayers. And I really loved this story. I thought it was really cute. The audiobook is read by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which most people know from Hamilton. I don't know him from Hamilton because I've not seen the show and I've not listened to the music, but I know he's big in the musical world. But from a audiobook point of view, his voice was brilliant for it. He had the right kind of tone and inclination in his voice, and yeah, he got Ari down really well for me anyway. And I really liked this book, and I'm looking forward to reading more by this author. The next, I then decided I was going to try and read A Dark Duet, but I felt like I needed something a lot lighter after reading This Savage Song. So I then picked up Daughter of a Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller, and I really enjoyed it. It was a proper good romp. It was just, I just really enjoyed it. I really liked her as a character, and I think there needs to be more female pirate books out there because this was just great, and I'm really looking forward to the sequel. I didn't expect to like it quite as much as I did, but yeah, I highly recommend that one if you're looking for a light, fun read. Then the next book that I read was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This I got in the Book Box Club for June, I think. Yeah, June. And actually really enjoyed it. It's not my genre at all. I stick mainly to fantasy and science fiction. This is like a thriller. It's basically, the easiest way to describe it is The Breakfast Club with murder. But it's great. It was really enjoyable. I loved the characters. I like getting to know them all. And there were a number of twists in here that I just didn't see coming. Other people have said, oh yeah, I figured that out. I didn't have a clue at all, and it was all quite surprising, and yeah, I ended up really enjoying it. And I was lucky enough to meet Karen at YALC a couple of weeks ago, and she was really nice and remembered me from the chat that the BookBox girls host with all their authors at the following each month. So yeah, that was really nice. And then the last book that I listened to on audiobook and read along on my Kindle was Anno Dracula by Kim Newman. And I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I read it because my friend Sam, it's one of his favourite books, And his other favourite book, Wizard of Earthsea, I really couldn't get on with. I didn't like the writing style, and I didn't particularly feel like I liked the characters an awful lot. I didn't feel I learnt enough about them, so I DNF'd that first book, so I felt kind of bad. So I thought I'd give this one a go, and I really enjoyed it. I absolutely adore the character of Genevieve, who is a elder vampire in this. And I love the little throw-ins to, like, you get name drops of like Sherlock and Moriarty and the just different literary characters, Jekyll and Hyde and things like that. And it's just a really good story, actually. I love the whole premise. Basically the setup is what would happen if Van Helsing hadn't managed to kill Dracula, and Dracula ended up turning Queen Victoria into a vampire and ruling England with her. So that's the basic premise, and it's really good fun, actually. I really liked it, and I liked it enough that I picked up the 2 sequels, and the Kim Newman wrote 4 books based on a vampire called Genevieve, who this was based off of, and I managed to get hold of that as well because I really liked her character. So yeah, so those were the 6 books that I read in July. Like I say, quite different to the TBR that I set myself, but I enjoyed them all, so that was the main point. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you read in July, or if you have read any of those or are interested in reading any of those. So thank you for joining me. Bye.